What's going on, everybody? God bless you all. Man, I want to share with y'all a powerful revelation that I caught while reading in the book of John. But before we get into that, I just want to show off my new Switch. Yeah. Shout out wifey. She copped it for me. This my new thing. But this revelation comes from the book of John, chapter 2, verses 8 through 10. And it reads, "And he said to them, Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast. So they took it, and when the master of the feast tasted the water now become wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine. But you have kept the good wine until now." This right here is Jesus' first miracle. And where does he perform his first miracle? At the wedding at Cana. And I love how it starts off like that, because the story of redemption has always been a love story between God and his people. And what's beautiful is the Bible begins with the wedding. Adam receives Eve. Jesus performed his first miracle at a wedding, and then everything ends with the wedding as we read in the book of Revelations. And this is not a coincidence. You see, God is trying to show us something, that he is a covenant-keeping God. And even history itself is framed as a covenant marriage between God and humanity. Though the fall broke union and sin fractured intimacy, and yet God's plan from the very beginning was not to abandon his bride, but to redeem his bride back to himself. And this is the first unveiling of Jesus' glory, because Jesus did not just come to rescue sinners, but he came to restore a broken marriage, to reclaim a bride that was growing weary, that was fractured, that was ashamed, and that was exhausted. And this is where it gets really good, because the master says, and everyone serves the good wine first. You see, the master here represents the old religious systems, the old covenant, human wisdom, human trying to judge things with their own intellect. And serving the good wine first means that humans always start off strong. We begin with excitement, passion, zeal, determination, discipline. But over time, devotion thins, consistency begin to crack, that flame begin to grow dim, hearts begin to grow tired, that passion, that zeal is not the same anymore. And what causes this is the law, self-righteousness, pride, religious activity without intimacy, performance, and striving. And John was trying to get us to understand something. Human strength always produces good wine first and poor wine after. What begins in fire ends in exhaustion. What begins in discipline ends in burnout. What begins in self-effort ends in self-condemnation, because flesh can never sustain covenant. So God allows our strength to fail us, not to shame us, but to show us that we need him and he always has something better.